Welcome back to Just Carve Rob. And what are we doing today, Rob? Well, we carved this guy, kind of like a little prototype guy. He's got Mod Podge on him, and he's also the new cover for this blade. Yep. Okay. So, I'm going to prototype a new face, 1x1x6. And let's see what we can come up with. All right? All right. Alrighty then. Are we ready for the dreaded voice over? The dreaded voice over. All right. So what we did is we came down 3/8 of an inch from the top of the block of wood, and then came in 1/8 of an inch to from each side, and that's what we're starting out cutting here. First of all, we're getting the sides trimmed down, so that we're going to give this guy ears. So we're going to want the ears. I put the, if you pay attention, I put the F on it for front, and then I ended up messing up and going to the back. It don't matter. And we're running to 3 times the speed to make this voiceover shorter and to make this video shorter. It ended up taking me about an hour and a half to carve this guy. Nothing but hand tools. We're going to use some V tools and some U gouges just to mess around. You can do all this with your Dremel. If you'd like to see it done with a Dremel, please leave a comment below. And if I get enough comments, I'll go ahead and make another one with a Dremel. I plan on blowing this guy up to a 2x2 inch piece of wood. Just the head, not caring about doing the body. I have some 2x2x6 here. 2 inches square by 6 inches long. And we're using the Just Carve Rob knife with a little bit of an upsweep made out of high-speed steel. High-speed steel. Man, I thought I was better than that. I thought I stayed in the middle pretty good. I guess I didn't. I'm trying to keep everything in that little gray square there for you guys. So now you can see I've gone ahead and I've outlined the ears, where the ears are going to be. And I'm going in pretty deep here because we got to get that wood down, to the same size as our hat's going to be, the 1/8 inch. That's right, guys. That's going to be a hat. That little 3/8 of an inch at the top that we cut out, an 1/8 inch on both sides. That's going to be a hat. So get ready for that hat, I guess. Okay, there's one ear. We're just leaving the real estate there for the ears. Cowboy hats are harder to do because the ears are underneath the brim of the hat. And we're just going to chop that right out of there. Keep our hat. That's going to be the bill of our hat on the wrong side of the wood. And this is my first guy like this, so we're both learning, right? We're all learning together. It kind of ends up, as we're working our way through it, I'm like, many times in my head, when I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, this guy looks like Fred Flintstone. But then as we get down to the finer details, Fred disappears. But if you wanted to do a Fred Flintstone, this is the closest I've ever come to it. So there's always that. I should have put the ears further back than where they are. I really had to shrink my face down and there's another Just Carve Rob knife. I really had to shrink my ears down. This one's made out of 1095. Shrink my face down for the ears. Say what you're try. Spit it out, Rob. Say what you want. Try to say it. Just say it. Putting the center line back in, and starting to taper the sides of the face in. And we'll really bring the sides of our head in quite a bit. Almost so much that I'm like, man, am I going to be able to put eyes in this little guy? And believe me, they are some teeny tiny. They're the smallest eyes that I've done so far. And I've done some small eyes. So that's pretty much saying a lot there. Looks like I left myself no room for cropping here. So it's going to be, but it's going to be. Que sera, sera. You can see I'm swooping the sides of that head in. And we're creating the forehead. Should be giving you a side view of it here pretty quick. Doing a little more shaping on that hat. Put the center line back in. And we'll just keep working that face down. You can see I cut the bottom of my nose is even or pretty close to even with the bottom of my ears. Oh, there's so many styles. There's so many great styles of carvers out there. I don't think we'll ever get caught up with all of them trying to carve in their style. Or taking their style and making it our own, you know, just by going back and... Okay, so I poke the end of my knife in right in the corner of the eye, and I give it a little swoop to create the the cheeks, you know, where my eye line is going to be. Don't pay no attention to them ears. They got to come way back. So there you go. There's a little view of them so far. And I've got a rather large U-gouge. Too large for this. But I'm going to try making it work. It don't work. Angle our nose up a little bit. Get them corners cut in. And I'm just cleaning up the eye plane where our eyes are going to be at. Just clean that up a little bit with the U-gouge. I really don't want it sharp point down at the bottom of where my eyes are going to be. And now we're back to that high-speed steel knife. It's working pretty good. This is a brutal knife here. You can really get into hogging some metal off with, or some metal, yeah. You can get into hogging some wood off with this guy. He's got a pretty thick spine compared to the other RV knife you see laying on the table there. He can take some pressure. And there I'm cleaning up the eyes again. I hope everybody's doing well. I know it's been a minute since we've had a video here. But now that fall is coming and winter's coming, and we should be getting some more videos out, maybe. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to see what life deals us. I was down for like a week and a half. Threw my back out. Anymore, it seems like a fart and a hard windstorm will blow her out. The discs are crumbling. Now you see how I keep working back and forth? I'm trying to keep the eyes the same size and the angles of the eye. Now, see how this guy's starting to look like Fred Flintstone? Do you see it? Or is it just me? Is it just my brain reacting to something ridiculous? Okay, so that line is where our jaw line is going to be. And I've got a V-tool here. And I'm just kind of tracing in where that jaw line is going to be with the V-tool. It's so that as I wheel this thing around in my hands, the pencil always seems to wear off. And I don't like using black markers because that wood just sucks that marker right in. And then it ends up being a giant black marker mess. But the pencil smudges and it turns out being a dirty mess. So I guess it all depends on what kind of mess you want to deal with. Get that lower jaw carved in there. And we'll get the back of the hat carved in. I'm pressing pretty hard here, probably harder than I should be pressing. And we'll tuck that hair up under the hat in the back. We're angling, getting ready to angle them ears. And there's going to be the back of the hair. And this guy I decided to give this guy a full body. So we'll be doing that. Not in this video. I'm just going to do the face and the head. The head and the face. That's all I'm going to do in this video. And then, yeah, I don't even know if I'll make the rest of the video on the body. If you want to see the whole body carved, leave me a comment. Who knows? The body might be carved by the time this video gets out. But I guess I should tape it, or film it, or whatever you want to call it, digitalize it, and then if I don't get any comments, I can always erase it, the body part. Everybody knows how to make a body. The faces are what interests me the most. I could just make little faces all day long if my back lets me. As far as doing the whole body, it's pretty standard. Doug Linker has some awesome tutorials on it, doing the bodies. I don't know why. I guess because faces are hard. So I need something to challenge my brain. And sometimes they come out okay, sometimes they don't. Like for a body, this head's going to be way too big. But who cares? It'll just be a big-headed guy with a little body. If I could fit, I think I might be able to fit a body in there. It works in. It looks like it's working out in my standard formulation for the body. We got a spot for the head. We got our head is using up about a third. Then the torso will use up about a third, and then the legs will use up about a third. And then, of course, we'll have to paint this little guy. So he's going to have some big old jowls hanging down there. International Carvers Association. Every Saturday at 3 o'clock, they have a thing on YouTube. Like they bring in different carvers, and they teach you how to carve their style. This I kind of got from I think his name was Pat. I can't remember his last name. He was on last Saturday doing these guys. Well, he's doing his guy, which is way better than my guy, but I decided to take the information that he's putting out there and run with it a little bit, see what I could come up with. And this is what I came up with. Now I want to do a bigger guy, maybe 1.5 inches or 2 inch. I don't think I have any more 1.5 by 1.5 by 6 inch. With that, you'd be doing a bust. The head and the head with no arms and a chest, wearing a shirt, bust. Kind of like that little cowboy in the beginning. He was just a head with although he did have arms and a vest. He's got to get painted. Carved him with this knife right here. And then we'll cut the hair in with the V-tool and all that good blab, yap, yap, yap. Hope everybody's doing well, doing good, doing fine. Say hi to Spike. How you doing, Spike? All right. Evil Rick. I think Evil Rick's been out on the trike all summer. We haven't seen him much around. That's to eat. Everybody's got their thing they like to do. And Evil Rick loves riding his motor scooter. It is is the sound of silence. Run out of things to say when you got an hour to say them in. Got lots of ideas for carvings. But we still have some things that have to be done. Gotta cover the boats up and all that good stuff yet before it's been chilling off here pretty good. August is a killer here, man. It gets so hot. Now we're into, I think this, at the time this video was recorded, it's September 8th. So hopefully we'll have many more days of sun before it turns off. 10 below zero out here. And hopefully we don't see too much snow this year. Okay, so I've got a little U-gouge there. I'm splitting the eyebrows on them. I really like this new knife I made here. Very, very thin blade. Very, very thin. And it's holding up very well. I got an idea for a new knife, like a spatula knife. So instead of trying to wield the regular blade sideways, you can push it instead of doing like that. Yeah, well, lots of things run through your mind, but I don't know about you guys, but very little in get done. Yeah, that would be so easy to turn that guy into Fred Flintstone. It's ridiculous. That's what's great about just freestyling and going with new ideas. As you're carving along, you might have one thing in your mind, but then you can see something else too. You can see one guy can be 10 guys, you know. The outline can be 10 guys. So now we're trying to get that cross mark off the top of the hat there, because your knife or your Dremel should touch every spot of your carving. And I never want to have any flat spots without, where there's like on the top of this guy, there's bandsaw marks on the 1x1. So I'm trying to get all the bandsaw marks cleaned off of it. And it's a pain in the butt because it's ingrain. The end of the wood is always the hardest to cut, because it's like trying to carve a stack of straws, because that's where all the straws come out of the top there. So you're trying to cut across them all, and it can be a royal pain. And now we're getting it cleaned up pretty good there. And putting the swoop in the cap. We're doing like a regular baseball cap here, or you could do like a golfer's cap. Depends on. Now we're doing the eyes. I'm doing that chip cut in each corner. And you can see we're going up, popping that chip out of there. I finally got it out, and then we'll go in and we'll do the other corner, the outside corner of the eyes. We'll put a chip cut in there. And then on the other side, the same thing, 3-way cut, pop that chip out of there. And basically, you could stop right there, your eyes would be fine. So now I'm going to run that line straight. Nope, I'm still monkeying around with the chip cuts. Get them chip cuts cleaned up. And now you can see I just went across and I just went around there. So I will cut that end back to in an upward fashion to create the ball of the eye, the eyeball, the part that you can see, not the part that's underneath the eyelids. And here I am putting the lower eyelid in. I'm just coming straight down and then cutting back to it. And I'm using a V tool. I'm like, that ain't working that good. And I go over to the other side, use the V tool. All that's doing is putting the crease in it for me. And then I'll come back in with a knife, come straight down, and then cut back on an angle to that cut. I don't know if that makes any sense. But that's what I did. And now we're putting in the upper eyelid. Just taking a V tool and running right around it. If you guys are watching this on your phone, you can blow it up. Take your two fingers and put them on the screen and do the pinchy thing, or unpinchy thing, I should say, to blow it up better. Okay, there you are. Now I'm going to put the, you could just put the mouth in this guy and call him done, but that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to put in the smile lines to create the barrel of the mouth. And this is where he's really starting to look like Fred Flintstone. The barrel of the mouth. Get that, what do they call that? The dental arch, I guess. And mine's going to have he's going to have a little mustache, so I'm going to cut those corners in pretty deep so I can get the mustache where I want it. Okay, now you can see I'm drawing the mustache in there. Yep. And then we're just going to run that knife blade right across it. Just like that. And there you can see the mustache. And now I'm making it deeper. Taking off some pretty heavy chunks there. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. And you could stop right there and say, that's a good guy. But I didn't. I'm making that mark deeper so I can get into the corners and force that up underneath that lip. I made a mistake here by using the, well, it wasn't a mistake. It wasn't. The wood is giving way on me here when I'm using the gouge. So I'm going to come back with a knife. And you can see I'm cutting that, taking that little chip cut out to give him some more shadow under the mustache. And I got my knife at about a 70-degree angle there. So I can create a lower lip and separate the mustache from the lower lip. So like a 45 each way to take that little, just take a little thin chip out between the mustache and the lip. And you'll get a lip. And then after we get our lip cut in here, all that wood underneath the mustache there, we'll end up doing a little swoop cut there to give him a little chin. Give him a little chin in the front. This guy was just so much fun to carve. I can't wait to do another one. I might just, if I don't give him a body, I might just flip him over and put a face on the other side too. But they're a lot of fun to carve. This is way characterized. Way characterized. Caricatured. And that's where, now you can see we're starting to round over that to give him a real saggy, heavy jowl there. And I'm going to flatten that out and swoop it up a little bit to flatten that out so it's not so puffy. and then take that sharp edge off. I'll do the same thing on this side. Do that little swoop cut to kind of flatten that out a little bit. And then bring that jowl, the fat cheeky, his little fat cheeky down to the other side. And we'll swoop a little bit out because I figured that that's a little too forward. And then we'll have to come back and cut it in a little deeper, which is okay because then that gives us our mustache sticking out a little bit further. The reason I did that is because my mustache looked like it was underneath the flap of smile line, like it was under the flap of the smile line or something like that. And so I did a little swoop cut to basically create our cheek. And I could still come back and put a little bit more. But I really like him the way he turned out, so I'm probably just going to leave this face alone. I may take the flap sander on my Dremel with the Scotch-Brite pads just to get a little bit of the fuzzies off of them. There's not that many fuzzies on them, but just to smooth things out, clean them up a bit. All right, so we only got a little more to go. About another 10 minutes of this dreaded voiceover. Even with the 1x1, it still took a bit of time to get them carved in there. I'm going to have to go get some of the heavy-duty magnifying glasses if I keep working on these little guys. The little 1x1 guys. But like I said, I'm going to take this same character and increase his size. Probably going to be a lot more power carving on that guy because that's a lot more wood to remove. Twice as much wood because this is a 1x1. That'd be a 2x2. So it'd be twice as much wood to remove. So we might as well get some help from the power tools. I really do enjoy the carving with knives and chisels and stuff, but when it comes into getting into those bigger guys, I have small chisels and I have big chisels. I don't have nothing for the intermediate chisels. So, maybe someday we'll get the mid-size set of chisels, so we can just block that, screw it to a board, and block it out with a hammer. And now I'm cleaning up the ears. I've got a smaller flex cut chisel that I'm pushing the ears back. I like using a gouge like that because as you push your ears back, it gets rid of that like dead stop. It kind of just blends it right in with the side of the head. That's kind of nice. And now I'm cutting the back of the ear. Separate the hair from the ear. And we'll do the same thing on this side. Clean up put that chip cut right under that hat. And man, we got a lot of hat shaping to go. Now I'm going to mess around with the ears. And I still didn't get them the way I want them, but that may be a deal for the micromotor and a small diamond ball. I'll probably use one of them to clean the ears up a little bit better than what I got them. So don't be afraid. Looks like a big mouse ears. Guy's got some big old ears going here. But he's pretty cool. Get all that cleaned up. And now I'm just going to try a different style ear on this side. And I don't know. I just didn't care for it. So I'll end up taking the micromotor with a ball burr or a diamond flame burr and get in there and clean them ears up, give them the cup shape that I want them to have. I really didn't have to do nothing to them. I could have just left them the way they were. But, yeah, okay. Are you done dicking around with them ears yet? I hope so. Yep, I think we are. Now I'm going to get that lower lip a little more established because, like I said, by picking the wrong side of the wood, as I pushed that, and maybe my U gouge was a little dull too. It ripped the fibers of the wood, and I know I should know better, but apparently I don't, because I end up having to dig around with my knife to get that bottom lip set in better. But it's all right. It all came out all right in the end. I have no idea what I'm doing there. Oh, this is a Ramelson tiny V tool. I'm putting the mustache hairs in his lip. There we go. There you go. You got the hairs in the lip. I'll give you guys a close-up look here in a minute. And now I'm just shaping that chin. Doing a little shaping. Well, that's that birch-handled knife, man. That thing is super duper razor sharp. Well, they're all razor sharp, but with that thin blade, boy, oh boy, does it slice. I poked myself in the finger a couple times during the making of this, and you can see on my thumb, that's where I poked myself. There's 2 red dots, and that was just a very light touch as I was switching hands. A very light touch, and it made me leak. Leak in there. And now we'll get that. I'm going back after that lower lip. And there we go. That's it. Bye-bye.